Hello and welcome back to Call Center Helper. My name is Xander Freeman. We are joined in the most professional setup that I've ever done an interview with, and I'm delighted to be sharing that pleasure with Darren Rushworth, President of NiCE International.
It's good to see you again, Xander, and yeah, what a venue, huh? How great is it? It's at Twickenham at the Alliance Stadium.
I know, I feel like a proper pundit. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's as close as I'm getting to the pitch at Twickenham. My knees are gone at this point. I've given up on that dream. But we're here for, obviously, NiCE Interactions International 2025.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely incredible event. We've had over 1,500 people come through the door this morning. Absolutely packed out the event, and yeah, hearing a lot from our customers. Keynote presentations from the NiCE staff, and yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic so far.
We're at the midpoint of the day. Obviously, we've heard from yourself. You were a great opening act.
Thank you.
For Scott and Barry as well. But I mean, there's so many different things we could talk about here, but one thing I want to highlight is what I love about Interactions every year is there's sort of the continuity of it.
Yes.
You had Lloyds on stage again today. Obviously, they were here a year ago too.
That's right.
It's that continuity, not only in the innovations and the constant innovations you guys at NiCE are driving, but also from a customer perspective. It's nice to see those stories evolve.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic, and I think that's one of the things we try and really reinforce at Interactions is the reality. Like, it's not just about the talk, it's about actually doing and showing results. Lloyds were here a year ago, just started their journey with generative AI, supporting all of their client advisors, and they were really at the start of that and with a vision ahead of them. Here they are 12 months later, realizing a lot of that vision already, expanding, I think, now to 22,000 employees in the organization, which is just amazing, leveraging GenAI knowledge, which is really great to have them on stage talking about what they've done, not what's going to happen, but what they've already achieved.
Well, exactly, and it's such an interesting use case as well, specifically within the finance sector when we talk about GenAI. With all the regulation that needs to take place there, it's such an interesting story to share to the audience.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and also, you know, keep in mind, to your point, it's a very sensitive area, a lot of sensitive data. So that's why you got to make sure that the right guardrails are in place. They've done a lot of testing and checking before they opened it out, and yeah, to widespread use. But they're getting that ROI that they expected, and happier customers.
Well, that's the stories you want to be telling, right?
Absolutely.
I know they're on in the afternoon as well, so I can't wait to dig into that a little bit deeper as the day goes on. But let's change pace now. Let's talk about the strategic partnerships that you've been announcing recently.
Yeah, so we looked at it more of a strategic vision for the company. Like what problems are there to solve? At the end of the day, that's our job, is to help companies solve problems. And a lot of the problems that people we're facing is, you know, the front facing or the front office, the agents, as much as they do a great job in servicing and trying to show empathy and taking care of customer needs, they then have to turn around and go into lots of different transactional systems and do real work. And that could be a billing system or a field service system or whatever the systems are that support their business. And we wanted to connect the front and mid and back office. With all the best way to do that is to form strategic partnerships with some of the players that are in that space. Yeah. And that then gives us the ability to really deliver automation from the intent right to the back office fulfillment. And that's really important. We also want to make sure we're leveraging the latest technologies with our open platforms, so the partnership with AWS, for example, and Snowflake from a data perspective. So they're really key to you know, really helping our customers do what they want to do, and we're just enabling that for them.
Well, we saw that in Scott's keynote earlier as well, right? When we were talking about driving value and efficiency, breaking down those silos across systems is so important.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's where those strategic partnerships work so well.
Absolutely, yeah. You were paying attention.
I have to. Otherwise, I'd be on here with nothing to talk to you about.
That's true.
So let's switch things up for our final conversation. There's been so much talk here today so far about what you've just announced with TalkTalk. Can you share a little bit more to our audience about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you talked about the consistency of interactions. TalkTalk's a great example. 2 years ago, they were here trying to work out where they wanted to go technology-wise to support their customer experience vision. And they attended the keynote and said, this is exactly what we want to achieve. We want to be able to provide a seamless experience to all of our consumers, irrespective of the channel that they wanted to work with us, and really deliver more of a high-value service. And then they came back last year saying, well, we've made a decision to go with NiCE CXone Mpower. And here we are again a year later, the third year in a row, showing, well, we've done that now, and they're going to, you know, you heard that, you saw that in the press release. They'll also be talking today on stage, talking about how they've gone from really the vision to reality, and that's what I keep saying. It's about not just talking about what's possible, but actually doing it and delivering it, and they're a great example of that.
I couldn't have summarized it better myself, Darren. Always a pleasure interviewing you. Thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Yeah, thanks, Xander. Great.